We're talking activist Will Smith, who boycotted the Grammys because they wouldn't show the hip-hop portion on television the year he won the Grammy. So what's good, homies? It's your man, Dr. BOA. You know, a lot of times a man will allow his energy to be drained by his woman, and he'll have no idea that his energy is being drained. But to the outside eyes looking in, the changes in that man are extraordinary. They are undeniable. They're unavoidable. And a perfect example of that is the transformation we've seen take place with Will Smith over these years, as he's grown older and wiser, and his wife Jada has gotten closer and closer to the wall until she finally crossed over. During this time, she has taken control of their marriage and has caused this guy to compromise in ways that no man should ever be willing to compromise. But this latest display, as you see in the thumbnail, is just something that I can't imagine a man ever being okay with. But as we see, here's a man who believes that this is normal. And in his life, it may be. But this isn't the first issue that he's dealt with this woman, who is very slightly built, doesn't have a very feminine frame. Now with the plastic surgery, doesn't have a very feminine look. And she has the green light to say and do and behave however she wishes. And all she does is continually embarrass this man. And this man feels like he's stuck, but he's paid. Why is it that the only men who are paid who feel like they're stuck with a woman they don't want to be with is black men? You don't see Jeff Bezos staying with the woman, doing whatever she says to stay with her. You don't see Bill Gates lobbying to stay with a woman, because these men know that they'll be rich. These men have adult children. Both Jaden and Willow are adults. Why is this guy staying with this woman? I'll tell you. And some of you men who are in relationship with women you don't want to be with and asking yourself why you can't leave, this is going to apply to you too. Let's take a deep dive on this one. But first, let's elevate to a higher plane. Prepare for takeoff. Now, the reality of the scenario is this. There are men who love the women that they're with. There are men who are being treated well by those women, who are being respected by those women, who are demanding respect from those women and therefore getting it. And then there are other men, such as Will Smith, who are just trapped. Now you ask yourself, how does that little small petite woman have this big grown man trapped? See, when you relinquish your manhood and masculinity to a woman and expect that she's going to be fair with it in your 50-50 relationship, you have lied to yourself twice. First, you told yourself it was a good idea to give a woman control of your manhood and masculinity, and then you turn around and tell yourself that she's going to be fair about it. Women want power. Women want control. And if controlling you means convincing you that you can trust her to control your manhood and masculinity with her demands, with her quips, with her requirements, with her expectations, then you end up in a scenario like Will Smith is in right now. There may be other men who are in this situation, but Will is the most egregious example of a man being drained by the lecherous spirit of the Jezebel. Listen to the way the woman talks. Look at the displays of being with another man in public that the woman has put on. And the man kept her, Here's the thing that Will doesn't understand. If he lets Jada go, she's never going to get another man. Yes, there are a lot of men who might want to touch her just because she's Will Smith's wife, just because she's Jada Pinkett Smith. Of course, she's famous. So there's some men out here who need validation from women so much that they'll cut any woman who's got some fame and notoriety just so they can post about it on social media. But I'm talking about a man like you, a man who's situated, a man with a hell of a career. Whatever money she gets from you, she's going to have to make that work for her for the rest of her life. Guess who's not? Will, you. You are the Will Smith. Stop acting like you're Jada Pinkett's husband. And remember that she's Will Smith's wife. The problem with you men is that you get to a point where you start to feel like the woman is just as important in your life as you are in hers. But how do you convince yourself of such a thing? Jada was never going to be a Halle Berry. There was already a Halle Berry. She was too small, wore her hair too short, and she was too fair-skinned to ever really make it beyond the level she made it to. Because Halle Berry was already filling that space. Halle Berry was Hollywood's ebony poster child. There was not going to be any replacing her. And they're both around the same age, so by the time Halle Berry was done, Jada was done as well. But you are the Fresh Prince. Grammy Award winning Fresh Prince. We're talking about Fresh Prince who was commanding more than $20 million a movie at the height of your career. We're talking about Independence Day, Will Smith. We're talking about Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. We're talking activist Will Smith who boycotted the Grammys because they wouldn't show the hip-hop portion on television the year he won the Grammy. We're talking that Will Smith. We're talking Men in Black Will Smith. Man, you have an amazing career. You have a career, man, that woman can only dream of. And you're seeing her acting like, man, she's as important to you as you are to her. You know how many more people know her because she's your wife? You know how little you being her husband helped you? Didn't help you at all. And by looking at these pictures and these videos you're doing recently, man, it hurts you. I hate to see a brother, man, heading into the twilight of his career, man. And he is allowing himself, man, to be just put on display like a zoo and made to act and be acted out on by this woman. I can't think of any man who's been more disrespected by his woman publicly than Will Smith. Now, granted, when you got with her, you knew she wanted another man. You knew another man was her type. But that man is gone. That man has been gone. So there is no way that you find yourself in the shadow of that man still trying to live up to the expectations of a woman who has expectations that you could never meet. That's why I tell you, men, never live your life according to women's expectations and desires. You let that woman fulfill her own desires. They're her desires. You let the woman do her own thing. Those are the things she wants to do. You don't allow yourself to be put into a situation where you stop caring about you because you're all cared out over caring about this woman. Disrespectful woman. Inconsiderate woman. Average woman. I want you men to understand one thing, man. No woman is worth your sanity. No woman is worth your manhood and masculinity. No woman is worth your self-love. And no woman or no one else is worth their peace of mind. Peace of mind is priceless. And if you let somebody destroy yours, eventually you'll be lifeless. I want you men to understand it's your life to live. But at the same time, you're going to be in a space like Will, it's your life to give. The woman in your life owes you everything she has and everything she'll ever have. Because without your guidance and leadership, she will be lost. Now, we know, without Jada, Will was going to get the way he was because he was already on his way. He was already pretty much there. He was heading in that direction. Jada, she wouldn't have been living the life she's living without Will. There's no way she would have never gotten there. I know they say anything is possible, but not this. There's not a snowball chance in the devil backyard that this woman right here, man, was going to make it to the level of life she's living right now off her own acting chops. Because let's be realistic. Even in Set It Off, Queen Latifah's character stole the show. So let's be realistic, man. There is no reason for this man to be taking this. They don't have any small children. Quite sure she can't have any children anymore. And if she does, he probably don't want none with her anyway. Which I doubt she can. All the ties they have that bind man are financial and business. Cut your losses and go down to one from two bosses. And never put yourself in a situation where you bossed up and you tell your woman, okay, because I'm a boss, you can come on and be a boss too, even though you haven't earned that right to be a boss. Here again, we have an example of a man giving a woman something that she did not earn. She did not earn the right to be a boss. Not in anything he's covering or anything he's building or built. Men have to stop ignoring the signs that your woman is a Jezebel. Because once that Jezebel start draining your energy, man, it'll be gone before you realize that she's draining it. And what happens when a woman drains all of your masculine energy? You're a slave to her. You can't leave her. Will can't leave this woman. All he can do is stay stuck and realize that everything he's built in his life is being sacrificed for the enemy that he calls wife. She has drained this man of everything. And it's really sad to watch his demise as he does these things, not in the privacy of his home, but in the world's eyes. I hope this man gets it together, man. But I'm not very confident he will. Because this picture you see in this thumbnail, this is just bad, man. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hear what you men have to say. I'm out.